You are going to listen to a story about two owls, a squirrel, and a human being. The piece is titled Being Who. It was written and performed by Gregory Zeorlin in September 2020. The audio recording is just over 8 minutes long. The author accepts the fact that some who start listening to this story will not have enough patience to make it all the way to the end. It is raining, and an owl is calling from a high spot in a tree near a human being's home. This is so insane, it laments, pausing to gather its wits before continuing. I'm perched in a tree getting soaked. Oh, why wasn't I born a human? The owl screeches again, as if alone in the world. Why can't I at least be a pet bird for a human being? The rainfall increases, and the owl is beside itself in sodden misery. Oh, to be in a cage in a dry kitchen, waiting to be fed. These hopeless thoughts keep repeating as the owl goes silent in the tree. As the rain lets up, a second owl hoots. Oh, dear owl, my sad friend, why do you pretend it would be better to be human? Do you really wish you were a pet bird? The second owl pauses to watch a squirrel jump from a tree branch and hide, and then adds, Don't you like flying? And what about our late nights hunting in these woods? Humans are always tired and wishing to sleep more. Being human doesn't look so great, says the second owl. The first owl rotates its head away from the second owl's hooting while half-heartedly stretching its wings. It's considering flying to a distant tree so it can't hear the other owl. But they are friends, so the first owl sits solemnly without calling back. The rain changes to a light mist while the second owl continues calling to the first owl. From what I have seen while sitting in these trees, many humans are nearly untamed. They are often inhumane, dangerously unpredictable, and such troubling animals. The first owl responds, So true, so true. The second owl adds, Not everyone is born as wise as an owl. After listening, the first owl slowly turns its head back towards the second owl. It's less anxious, but still detests being in the rain. It replies, When I think about it, being human is quite challenging. Then it flies silently to a tree that's closer to the second owl. After repositioning itself on a pine branch, the first owl continues. I've gazed into those human nests many times, but can't determine who cooks for who. The second owl shrieks with surprise and delight. Who cooks for you? As its friend simultaneously screeches, Who cooks for who? Both create a cacophony of calls up in the pine trees. Who cooks for you? Who cooks for who? Each repeating their inherited outsider joke several times. Both now in high spirits, they agree eating out in the wilds is always better than waiting in a cage to be fed by a human. So, what's it going to be? Asked the second owl. Free-range field mice in natural juices, or our favorite squirrel sushi? Now a squirrel hiding in a nearby tree begins wondering why it wasn't born as a human being. A human being continues shrieking at the owls. How do I fly off this chair perched in my cage? I'll cook for you. I'll cook for you, the human howls from the screen window of the comfy human nest. That human is definitely untamed, says the first owl. Both owls fly off and perch together in a tree on the farthest edge of the wooded lot. They're weary of hearing that squawking human being. Well, that's a happy ending. All is well because the owls reconcile. The human gets counseling and takes up playing guitar. And the squirrel buries enough acorns to replenish the woodlot and offset global warming. Isn't that nice? But, oh, do you want to know? Do you want to know more? I'll continue, or you can stop now. Don't blame me if I ruin your have a happy, nice day. So, are you still there? Too bad, you were warned. Well, just as the owls perch together in the perfect tree, winds pick up and rain starts falling heavily again. Oh, no, 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 hoots the first owl. The second owl exclaims, how about we do some screaming in the rain? I'm screaming in the rain. What a glorious feeling, we're happy again. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, shrieks the first owl as the second one continues singing. Screaming in the rain, screaming, screaming, screaming in the rain. Just then, a lightning bolt strikes their tree with 1 billion volts of electricity. The tree explodes, bark is scattering everywhere. The tree is splitting, crashing to the ground. Owl feathers are scattered haphazardly on a carpet of golden pine needles. The startled human being exits the comfy human nest to survey the damages. The human is drinking pure grain alcohol and crawling through the woods. Wow, look at all these beautiful owl feathers, says the human while selecting some to display in the house. The human stands up and begins flapping feathers in both hands, yelling, I'm flying, I'm flying, look, I'm flying. The human being continues waving the feathers while stumbling back towards the comfy human nest. A squirrel clings to a broken pine branch that's hanging in an oak tree near where the lightning struck. The squirrel is waving its tail, attempting to make the branch dislodge so it can grab the trunk of the oak tree. The broken pine branch finally releases, falling quickly from the oak canopy. Down below, a drunk human being is speared by this heavy 7-foot-long branch. The branch pierces the human's left shoulder, exiting near the right hip. Warm blood flows onto the forest floor, mixing with the rain and mud. The squirrel makes its way down the oak tree and cautiously approaches the motionless human being. Owl feathers are crushed in the human's hand.
Wow,
Says the squirrel, pausing to remove a muddy acorn stuck on the forehead of the dead human. Things are really nutty around here, thinks the squirrel while holding an acorn between its teeth. It scampers off hunting for more acorns in preparation for a long, strange winter.